I still hate LA, but I've come back with a purpose. I want to bungee jump, skydive, wing walk. I have a concept for a YouTube video. It's called Pushing Influencers Off a Bridge.
Welcome back to another episode of the No Script Podcast. Today is lucky number episode 13. Hey, so there was actually a mistake in the release schedule for the podcast. Last week's episode was recorded after this one. So technically this is episode number 13 and the previous episode is number 14. We reference it a lot in this episode, so I just wanted to take a second to clear that up. Whoops, where I have a special guest, one of my good friends who just moved back from Idaho after moving to LA a long time ago. Decided LA wasn't his thing. But now he's back. Please welcome Robert Gisto.
Yeah, do you have like an applause track?
We should add that, huh?
Yeah.
It's because I call you Rubertino so much. I was about to say Rubertino.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense. Also, lucky number 13, I don't think that's a thing.
Unlucky
right?
number
Like, that's a terrible episode to have me on, especially on my first day back.
I was like, this episode wasn't even supposed to be a thing. When Robert hits me up, I'm like, I guess fuck it.
I guess we're going to fill this epised with somebody.
In this episode, the counters start falling. Everything starts going wrong.
The worst thing ever.
There's like black cats walking up here.
Yeah, you know what? It's really inconsiderate too, because I actually got you a gift for Valentine's Day. I assume this is going to be the Valentine's Day podcast, right?
So you asked me right before we started recording when Valentine's Day was. Now you just happen to have a gift for me.
No. I planned ahead. I just don't know like what time frame.
Hey Kia, when in April is Valentine's Day?
Listen. I am very single, ladies. And I don't know exactly what day Valentine's Day is, but I did get you a gift here.
Oh, you seriously did get me a gift?
Of course.
How did I not notice there was something next to you this whole time?
Yeah, here we go. Look at that. We all know the price of eggs has increased dramatically, right? So I am here just to give my my best bud a little gift. Go ahead, open it. Go ahead, open it up.
You should have taken this part off. I can see what it is.
Go ahead.
Open
it up for my boy.
Should I read what it says on the front first?
No. You're not
it's gonna fucking blow in my face. It's one of those. You piece of shit. I'll do it just for the fucking. Does it hurt? I've seen videos of this shit.
It's not gonna blow up.
Big dudes being taken out by this shit.
It doesn't blow up. It doesn't blow up. This is the most anticlimactic
does it not blow up?
No, my whole thing was gonna be.
Wait, what is it?
Nothing.
Dog, there's tape on it. It's just not to blow. What is it?
No, it's literally nothing.
Dog, read the paper. It's a warning on the back of the paper.
It was probably like, don't eat that shit. My whole thing was, I like you. I don't like you enough to spend the money to get you real eggs.
I don't believe it.
The funniest part is...
Look at this. Come in on this.
There's
nothing. Like tape on the bottom. It's not even a full egg. It's called a confetti egg.
I don't know what kind of egg it is. I think it's just a prop egg, but I love that he thinks it's going to blow up this entire time. Right? It's nothing.
There's confetti inside of it.
Oh, that's nice.
Use the Instagram filter to use the...
Just blow it up.
Yeah.
So it's not going to blow up on my
No,
thing?
it doesn't blow up. There's nothing there. But it was way better that you thought it was going to blow up.
Have you seen those ads on
nothing.
Instagram where it's like, get your Valentine's Day gift? And they open like a card and start...
That's funny.
Dude, I thought I was going to open this and all the extra was going to blow.
No, I should have thought ahead. Except here's the thing. Kia invited me on his podcast last night. So I didn't have time to prepare. Obviously, Lucky 13 is a valued guest.
I like these though.
Yeah.
Thank you, Rob.
Yeah, no problem.
Happy Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's Day.
Did you get these for a girl and you just couldn't find one? So it's like...
No. No. I got it for the gig. For the gag. Is this mine?
Dog.
You got me a little coffee.
You're welcome. All right.
Yes, yeah.
So Robert tells me he's moving back to LA to focus on work. I'm going to do all this work.
Yep.
So how much work have you actually done since you've been back?
Okay, here's the thing. Work in LA is very hard. I've been back a week, and I actually, you know what's interesting is I've been back a week, I have started pounding out content, and I now have my second round interview to be the content producer for Adobe. So it is going pretty good, but also it's like you're in LA and there's just like there's parties, there's bullshit, there's work. It's like the juxtaposition between Idaho is I had so much time I could do whatever, but I had no creative output to do it. And then LA, you have all the bullshit all the time, all at once. And you're like, where do you find time?
So did you go back to Idaho to like get a reset before coming back to this after you
Fuck
realized what it was?
no.
Why'd you go to Idaho?
Because I got my heart broken.
Yeah.
Yeah, I moved out because me and my girl broke up. So I did need to get out of LA though. And it was a good restart where it's like I was starting to hate LA. I still hate LA, but I've come back with a purpose.
Was it coming back? Was it difficult because of the reason you left?
No.
No?
I was over that. It's just like, LA. It's you fucking the traffic, the smog. You can't swim anywhere. Like you try to go to nature, you have to like fuck off for an hour and a half. It's just like
a
it's
very
so
Idaho problem. Person from Idaho coming to LA. I've never thought about swimming in LA and how it's a problem. I've never thought about going into nature. Nature's nice out here, no?
Nature's dog shit.
You go to
out
Runyon
here.
Canyon and you see the world, bro.
Yeah. You run through like trash in Runyon Canyon. Your nature is just like looking over the city. Dude. You're like, wow, that skyscraper is beautiful today.
Dude, imagine Bear Grylls in Runyon Canyon in the woods. He's like, and over there. And then you just see this homeless guy.
Just panhandling.
In the middle of nowhere, there's like cheetahs running around.
You're like, oh, what just happened there?
But you did just get back from Bali not too long ago.
Actually, speaking about.
Okay, how many gifts does he have? Oh God!
Yay! Because I hear it's the Easter special as well. I'm not saying I got all of this during Easter, but
Robert's working his ass off to make this the best episode. Everyone remembers it.
I came prepared with props. That's all I'm saying. Look at that! Wow, that is
so
nice.
Why when I mentioned Bali did you start pulling out confetti?
I don't even know what you mean.
On a good note,
yeah.
This is the first episode ever that I'm not wearing shoes.
How is that a good note? I feel like, have you ever heard of Feet Finder? Sponsored. This is sponsored episode by Feet Finder.
All right. Talk to me about Bali.
All right. Before we get into that, I do want to say one thing. And that's...
How many gifts does this man have? Wait, where are these coming from?
I'm just pulling it out of my memory box. Uh-oh. Okay, well, what really reminded me of
can you hear him?
I can't. I can't find it, but...
What is it?
The one thing I know about Kia is he's a creative genius out here. And that's why I got him the 2X spicy noodles.
Are these the dried noodles you could eat?
He's a silly little noodle. Here you go.
Hey, it's going to blow up.
Imagine if that's the thing that actually blew up.
Imagine you're on your way here, you're just in the car, and all this shit starts blowing up in your head.
I'm like, this is going to be a hilarious prank. Boom.
You're counting how many eggs popped and how many you got left.
Speaking of driving, I almost died in a car once.
Did you?
Yeah. Back in college, I was driving to like, I don't know, like a dentist appointment or something. Maybe I was just driving to see a girl. You know how it is. Mm-hmm. Do you?
Is this why you started?
Tell me about that, Kia. I thought you had a girlfriend. That's very interesting.
Hey, to be fair, I do drive to Orange County because she lives. I actually don't drive there a lot. She drives to me a lot.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Hey, props to her for driving from Orange County to here every day, huh?
Actually, yeah, big props. Kia's girlfriend. Like I don't know her name.
But go ahead. So you were driving.
All right.
Either the dentist or to see a girl.
Right. Yeah. Dentist or to see a girl, and this was in Washington, and I'm speeding along, and it's not a one way, but it's double yellow lines, so you can't pass. And I'm driving, and I'm like, I'm lost as fuck, and I'm like, okay, I don't know where I'm going, so I decide to pull into this driveway. And as I'm pulling over, like I'm crossing the lanes to pull into the driveway, this tree tripper truck. You know what that is?
Truck?
No. Like you take down trees and then you put it in and it chips it.
Okay.
Yeah, like a giant fucking truck, right?
Okay.
So
Like
I'm
what Alvin and the Chipmunks were scared of.
exactly,
Yep.
exactly what it is. Exactly what it is.
Okay.
So I am driving down. I get distracted. I'm like, all right, I can't find the way. I'm pulling into this driveway, and the tree tripper truck fucking slams me, hits me, goes into the person's yard, destroys their fence. Like they had a wooden fence. We just go through the wooden fence. I stop right before this tree, and I'm just knocked the fuck out, right? So
What?
yeah, my door is indented, and if it went half an inch more, it said it would have concaved the entire car, right? So I was half an inch away from just straight dying. I wake up, and all my windows are shattered. I can't open the door, right? I'm heavily concussed. I hear these people yelling from outside, and I was just like, oh shit, like I don't know what's happening. So I unbuckle, luckily. I stumble out, and by that time it had been, I don't know how long I was out. I don't know when they called, whatever. And I also don't know how much time passed, but I stumble out the passenger side door, and I'm just dazed. They're talking to me. I'm not really understanding what they're saying. And the ambulance come, and I just pass out onto the ground. And the ambulance are like, they come over and they start taking off they start scissoring my clothes to make sure there's no like internal bleeding and shit like that. And there's this pretty sexy nurse that comes along. I ain't saying nothing, but she starts taking off my pants, and I was like, hey, no, I can do that. And she's like, no, legally, we have to do this. I was like, no. If you want help, I can help. And she's like, no, you fucking can't. So it was just it was a surreal experience.
When was this?
This was like 8 years ago.
Damn.
Yeah, dude. It was wild. Was in the hospital for like 3 days. It was, yeah, life altering.
Damn, dude. That's crazy. I did not know that was a thing.
Yeah, dude. It's I'm a survivor. That's what they say.
What car was this?
I don't know.
The car got totaled, right? Like,
Oh, absolutely totaled. Yeah,
so this
destroyed.
You have all these situations that go on with your car all the time. Like Robert was here last time. He had this little red car. It was red.
Yeah. It was red. It was a red Kia Soul.
Right. And
Sponsored by this podcast, Kia Soul.
He called me one day. He's like, dude, my car got stolen. I was like, what do you mean your car got stolen? He's like, it's just not outside where I parked it. I'm like, wait, what? And then you track the car.
Yeah. Well, insurance tracked the car. Not even the cops. The insurance through red lights tracked the car.
Wow. To where?
To Compton. So my track record is I almost die in a car. My car gets stolen out of the front yard, basically, and winds up in Compton. Like, I do not, my track record isn't that clean.
You also choose very like bright and like flashy looking cars.
It's not like you should not be stealing these cars because they're so noticeable.
Yeah, like now you have a really blue car. It's like not normal blue. It's just like really fucking blue.
It's just outrageously blue, the blueberry of it all. Yeah.
And you name them after fruits. I'm like, where are you? I'm just in blueberry right now.
And you're like, the fuck is that? Is that a city? Is that like a euthanism? Like, what is that?
That's funny.
Yeah.
All right, well, you cut me off when I asked about Bali to give me this.
Oh, that is.
Do I have to? Can I eat this? Like, is he reaching for more stuff? Look, I thought they were reaching for another gift.
No, I ain't got another gift. But I will say, Kia's been working out recently,
What
and he
is
does
going on?
remind me that he's a big hunk.
What is this?
It's a big hunk
know
because
what a
you
big
remind
hunk
me of a
is.
big hunk.
Is it a chocolate bar?
Kind of. You should try it. It's like a toffee.
It doesn't have alcohol in it, right? No, there's alcoholic chocolates.
Sometimes, I guess. Yeah, like little chocolate eggs or something like that.
Okay, let me see. What is this? Is
I've
it
never-
good?
Yeah. You should hook me up with any chocolate that will get me turned. Because
What
I'm
the?
wild with
Look
it.
how disgusting this looks. It's white. It's not.
Wow,
white.
are you saying white's disgusting? Canceled much?
Is it good? Here, you want some too?
It's delicious.
You should eat it first. You should take a first bite just so we make sure you know.
All right.
Because I want you to have the first bite. All right, it's safe. Damn.
Well, I like it.
Ow.
Yeah, it's a toffee for sure.
Also, what Alvin and the Chipmunks got high on.
Wow, there it is. Have you
No.
ever gotten high?
No, never smoked in my life.
Me neither.
You know I haven't either.
Yeah, that's true. Too straight edge.
Can I eat this like this, or do I have to cook it?
I honestly picked it up at the dollar store.
I should probably cook it.
Yeah, probably should cook
Tell
it.
me about Bali. I want to know about Bali.
What?
Is it like dangerous or is it cool?
Bali is very interesting. But before we get into Bali,
Why are you keep boring me, bro? It's not how podcasts work. I ask the question and you answer. You've redirected me with a gift every time I've asked you about Bali. How many more do you have?
before we get into Bali, have you heard of ChatGPT?
What is going on? All right, maybe I'll tell you my story about something, a cool experience I had in Indonesia, and then you could tell me your cool
All
experience.
right, that's a
in
deal. That's a
Indonesia.
deal. That's a deal.
All right. I went to Indonesia in high school, right?
Yeah,
You know, I played basketball. I was trying to be like,
you're a baller.
I was a baller. Only reason I'm not in the league is because I'm 4 feet under the height requirement.
Yeah, you were midget as well. Yeah.
Yep. So basically, in high school, my friend lived in Indonesia, because I went to a boarding school, right? So people were from all over the world. One of my closest friends in high
You went to
school.
a boarding school?
Yeah, no, I don't want to talk about it. I talked about that on like every other podcast episode. Go watch it.
Not
No
interesting.
Script episode 10.
Right. Yep.
9.
Nine. It is.
So basically, I went to the boarding school. So one of my closest friends, JJ, was from Indonesia, and there was a basketball league out there.
Sure.
So he was like, "Hey, you want to come to Indonesia and play on the league?" I was like, "Hell yeah!"
Right,
This was
obviously.
like, it was like one of their top leagues for the age. Like, it wasn't like the pros, but like it was like the pros for like that age kind of deal. So I went over there, and then right when we landed, bro, the craziest thing, like, he was so rich that like when you're rich in this kind of country, you're like.
You're rich.
You're rich,
You're like
right?
what? Yeah, 0.1%.
Right. So we stop like along the way, every airport we stopped in, just like top of the line experience. Like Japan, that was crazy. Like we're in like these crazy first class lounges and everything in each of the countries. And then we get to Indonesia, right? And then like, dude, we don't wait in anything. We meet up with one guy, my friend hands him a piece of paper or something, and we're just in the back of the airport.
No way.
Like, dude, like they're carrying all their stuff. They're like, your stuff's gonna be in the car. Just follow us, dude. Just some crazy shit. They take us to this crazy like private driver out the airport, kind of like Celebrity, but there was no paparazzi. But it was like kind of like that. Like you walk, boom, no lines, nothing, no TSA. You just walk. Open the car door. You get in the car. They just start driving. And then like Indonesia's like we were in Jakarta, so it's like
Oh, you were
very
the capital.
villagey, right?
That's the capital. Yeah.
Lots of like villages, small little towns, nothing like very like third world country looking type, right? And we see this massive gate, right?
Yeah.
We just pull up to this gate. The gate just the guy at the front just nods and then
It's like the Bowser's Castle gate, except for rich people.
exactly.
You know?
So we drive in and then his house, another big gate.
Okay. Starting to creep into Illuminati, like they're gonna harvest some shit from you. Yep.
Door opens, dude. There's all these maids in the front.
No
Just waiting
way.
for us. The car pulls into the garage. Driver gets out, opens the door for us. More people from inside that work in this place come out and start
Get out
taking
of
our
here.
stuff, dude. Take your stuff. Give them the dirty clothes. They take the dirty clothes. Private chef just waiting in the kitchen.
Bro, have you ever seen? You probably haven't. Pride and Prejudice is exactly this. You're like a rich person from like the 1900s of England. Continue
Right.
though.
It's like, yeah, dude. And then so basically that's like when we get there, it's like it's kind of crazy, right?
Yeah.
And then they don't drive there because it's like it's really difficult to drive in these places. So there's the private driver, there's two of them. Sit in the garage at all times. They're just there.
What?
From the morning to night. They just sit in the garage. Hey, can you take us here? Get in. It's like that, bro. Like
No
they don't
way.
leave. Chef stays in the kitchen. Whatever you want, you tell them.
And they just like take breaks or
Yeah, but
something?
it's like weird. I don't know. Their breaks are when they're not working, when they're not cooking.
They're what?
It's like they make the food and then obviously you're not eating 24/7.
No.
But when you're not eating, they just sit there and wait for you.
Wait, they just wait in the
They wait.
specified areas? They don't have like a lounge area?
Well, I'm sure they have rooms in there, but I'm saying like
Okay, yeah.
every time we walked in the garage, the driver's just sitting there.
No way.
Every time we walked in the kitchen, the chef is just sitting there.
That's so crazy.
And then like it's weird for me to ask, right? And then I go upstairs the day after, we leave, we come back. The house is hot as shit, bro. It's so hot.
Yeah.
My room and my friend's room is just perfect temperature. It's so nice. It's like cold. My laundry laid out on the bed, color coordinated, just folded to perfection when I walk in there every single day. And then all I do is when I take my dirty clothes off, you throw them in the corner.
That's crazy, dude. I would honestly, I would instantly power trip. Like, you know, you see people and they're like, "Oh, how did the cop do that?" No, not me. I'm like, I get it. I have I feel like a god at that place. You know, I instantly power trip.
I didn't, dude. I was the opposite. I felt so bad. I would
That's
like
good.
fold my clothes in the corner.
That's smart. You're a moral person.
I mean, if they're inviting me out there, you know, like the maid, you know, maids talk shit. Sure, like
Yeah, of course. They spit in your food if you're disrespectful to them, all that stuff. They really mix it in, though. You know,
dude, I'm sure like any hotel you go to here, they're talking shit about you.
oh
right?
yeah. Oh gosh, I was in the service industry for years, and I talked the most amount of shit ever.
Was it more shit about rich people that were being snobby as opposed to
Yes,
just
absolutely, 100%.
Yeah.
About like some douchebag that was super self entitled about whatever. Right.
what did you work in?
So I did like infield brand ambassador work, and then I did like catering for like high end weddings and shit like that.
Those are the worst, huh? The weddings.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. Honestly, the weddings weren't terrible because people are like there to have a good time.
Yeah.
It was more the like infield brand ambassador because I was working with a lot of like influencers and excessively wealthy people. So it was a lot of like self entitlement, right?
Right.
So it's like those people who are just like me all the time, me. So it's like, you know, those ones are the
Also, the thing I've noticed with weddings is, dude, it's a lot more stressful than what like other people think it is for the people getting married. Because like my cousins, the first wedding I ever went to, I don't get invited to weddings. I just don't.
yeah, that makes sense.
So
I've been invited to like 20 weddings.
Yeah, but you're also 48 years old. Dude, your kids have gotten married before you.
You're right. You're out on that.
So I went to my cousin's wedding.
Yeah.
And then I'm over there and I'm like, okay, everyone's having a good time. It's not that big a deal. It's just a wedding, right? It was my first one. I didn't give a fuck, right?
Yeah.
And then I order Popeyes on my phone before the service
At the
starts.
wedding?
At the wedding, right? We're in the San Francisco City Hall. It's like, dude, it's crazy. Like you look out, there's just like you see the city kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
So we're in the City Hall and I pull out my phone. I'm like, hey, can I order Popeyes? It's like an hour before it starts. So he's like, okay, yeah, go ahead.
Who did?
My dad.
Oh, your dad. Okay.
I hadn't told my cousin at this point, right?
The cousin that's getting married.
Yeah.
Who ordered all the dinners and all the food and
Which is
did
like,
everything.
dude, Persian weddings are insane with food. Like they'll have like, you'll be there for like hours and hours and hours and hours.
Oh,
eating
so they
food.
go even above and beyond normal weddings.
Yeah, dude, it's crazy. So then I'm over there. I tell my dad, he's like, yeah, order, eat real quick, and then it'll get started, right?
Yeah.
Dude, Popeyes is like a mile and a half, 2 miles. But the thing is, like, there's a hill, right?
Sure.
That you have to go up this hill to get to the City Hall. And I order the Popeyes. I'm like, it shouldn't take that long. Like, it should be here within like 25 minutes, which it said 25 minutes on the thing.
Yeah.
25 minutes goes by. Dude's barely like leaving Popeyes. 35 minutes, 45 minutes, 55 minutes. Dude, it's about to start, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, where the fuck is this guy? Like, he's been going, like, you know how you can watch them go?
Yeah.
He's going slow up this hill. I'm like, what the fuck is he doing?
He stops. He takes a picture of him like eating the Popeyes selfie.
Worse, bro. He gets there. My cousin is closing the doors. The food arrives. I'm like, hey, can I just run down real quick?
Weird.
I'm like, can I just run down real quick? He's like, for what? I'm like, I have to do something real quick. He's like, what do you want? He's like, okay, just hurry. So dude, I run. The dude's on a bike. The dude has the bag in one hand and the drink in the other hand, and he's driving with his elbows.
No
and dude,
fucking
that
way.
hill is insane, bro. I'm telling you, if me and you were to do this hill, bro.
That's why. So like an actual bike, like not like a motorbike.
No,
like
a bicycle, bro. This dude is just pedaling. I don't even think it had gears on it.
I feel like they should have a setting of like, do you want it quick or like slow as fuck? You know?
So, dude, yeah, exactly. Don't tell me 25 minutes if it's gonna take an hour and a half.
Yeah.
The funny thing is, bro, I run with the Popeyes in as they're starting, right? And it's my family, so I'm in the front row.
Oh my!
I'm in the second row, right? Dude, they're walking. I'm devouring this Popeyes.
He's just giving you stank eye,
Bro, all the family pictures of me in there is them holding hands. they're like walking up, one like together, whatnot. And then it's just me over there with my hand in a bag of Popeyes.
That's fucking hilarious. But also, it's like they will remember that forever.
Yeah, I mean,
For good or for worse.
But that's just been our joke this whole time.
The second you get married, that entire extended side of the family just brings Popeyes to the pictures. They're like, now what, motherfucker?
Dude, imagine for my wedding, everybody's holding a bag of Popeyes. The dude with the bike is in the back chilling.
He gets invited. Somehow they find him. Are you drinking my drink?
This is my drink. You notice I'm opening the lid? I don't know what you have, bro. I don't trust Robert when he's been in LA for a week trying to find a wife.
That's true. I am trying to find a wife. If anyone out there.
All right, now your turn. I told you my Indonesia story. And I told you my Popeye story. You had a 2-in-1.
Oh, that is true. So
Come on, tell me about Bali. He's like,
yeah. All right, it is time for the Bali story. Unfortunately, that's all the time I have. So I'll catch you later.
Doug, what
Thank you,
happened in
guys.
Bali, bro? What happened in Bali? Talk to me.
ChatGPT.
ChatGPT. Am I right? No, Bali was phenomenal. It was one of the best experiences I have ever had. I was there for 3 weeks. I went to like Vietnam, all this stuff, but there's this volcano in Bali. And to get there, you have to cross islands from like the actual Bali, the island, and to get to this like smaller island where you can hike the volcano. And the second day I was in Bali, I was like swiping Tinder madly, right? I was like, I need to find a wife. And this girl hits me up and she's like, hey, I can't meet up, but I'm going to hike this 3-day journey on the volcano. If you want to come, I'm leaving tomorrow.
Really? Was she from there or she was visiting?
She lived there. She was like, she wasn't from there, but she lived there.
Okay.
And I was like, you know what? I'm an adventurous person. I'm in. So the next day we do a 3-hour bus ride to the edge of the island. We get to the edge of the island and then it's like a 2-hour boat ride to the actual island. You stay overnight. And on this boat ride, you know me, I'm chopping it up. I'm talking to my people. I go up top and it's like probably like 60s or something. It feels like that. And so I take off my shirt and I'm just chopping it up with this Irish dude. The wind's feeling nice. Irish dude doesn't matter. Irish dude doesn't. I'm just going to send you like a video.
I thought it was just you and her.
No.
Rob's talking to you.
Oh, yeah. The
Like,
boat.
I took my shirt off. I got sexy. I just looked at the Irish guy.
You're like,
wait.
where did he come from? No. It's like a Stax boat.
Okay.
So it's like a transit boat, almost like a ferry, but a fast ferry.
Uh-huh.
Also, you can put like a little, I don't know where you're going to put it. Maybe right there. Not over my face, right there.
A picture of the fast ferry?
I'll send you a video of me on the fast ferry.
All right.
And I was like, oh, we're cruising. This is going to be a beautiful trip. So we get to the place, we stay overnight, and then we leave at 4 a.m. in the morning to start the hike.
Wow.
Yeah. And it's a 10-hour hike to the summit. So we get there and we're having dinner and I'm like, I'm kind of itchy. And so I take off my shirt. Dude, I am beet red. I got like close to 2nd-degree burns all over my entire body because I'm super pasty white. The sun's harsher out there. And now, so my entire body, like my chest into my shoulders are super burnt. And I have to do a 10-hour hike with this like 50-pound backpack tomorrow. So I was like, all right, it's not starting out great.
Right.
But it was honestly, it was one of the most beautiful experiences I've had. But we do the next day, the 10-hour hike up. And by the end of it, I am sore. I'm in pain. I'm just hopping painkillers. I like Advil, not like illegal shit. Just wanted to clarify. And then the following day we finish it, which is another 6 hours up, 4 hours down. Or no, it was 3 up, 2 down, back to base camp, right? So now we have to get back down to the very bottom on that second day, right? So I'm sunburnt, 50-pound backpack. We're already exhausted. We've gotten 5 hours of sleep, and our tour guide is like, actually, you know what? We're going to add 3 more people on, but I'm going to have to like be closer to the back with them. So we're like, all right, whatever. It's an 8-hour journey down. And we have to catch a ferry back to the mainland of Bali at like 2 p.m. Or no, 4 p.m. So we make it down to where the cars are supposed to pick us up. And when we get down there, there's nobody, there's no cars, there's nobody. And our guide was like, oh, just follow those Sherpas. Sherpas are the people that carry your gear up. And
Just follow the strippers.
strippers. And you're like, there's strippers in this jungle?
It's like three Irish guys in like Speedos.
It's the Irish guy that was on my boat. How did you get here? He's like, I've been following you ever since you took off your shirt. And I was like, all right. So we follow these Sherpas for like an hour and a half.
The word Sherpa.
Yeah. And as we're following them, it starts raining.
Oh, shit.
And we're like, all right, well, I don't know if they actually know where they're going because they don't speak English. So we're lost in the jungle. I'm in pain. It's raining. We're drenched. It's going through all of our travel gear, right? And then we finally get to this like really tiny town that's like super underdeveloped. It only has a bus station. And then we see this like Sprinter van and we're like, oh, thank God. We're here. We're going to get in the Sprinter van. We have like 2 hours before we miss this ferry, right?
It's the Nelk Boys filming a video. They just drive off.
Yeah, they just, kind of. So we get in and they're like, no. That's for somebody else. And we're like, what do you mean it's for somebody else? And yeah, Dwayne Johnson's there. And we're like, what do you mean? And they're like, you have to get in the back of this truck. And it's like an open bed truck. So we get in the back of this truck bed. Mind you, it's raining. So now we're going on these underdeveloped dirt roads at 30 miles an hour with rain just pelting us, getting sick as fuck. It's an hour and a half to this place.
Wow.
Where we left, some of the people, not me, left their bags, right? Finally, we get to the place.
The girl looks over that you're with. You're on Tinder again.
I'm like, done with
get me out of this.
Like, you are trouble.
You get another message as you're in the back of the truck. What you doing tomorrow? I'm going on a hike from another girl. You're like, no. All right,
why does this always happen? And so we get to where our luggage is, right? And we're like, all right, finally, let's go. We still have an hour. And the girl has been living in Bali, so she kind of speaks Balinese. It's not Indonesian, it's like Balinese, it's whatever. But she's like, hey, we don't have a lot of time. We need to get there. And they're like, oh no, you missed the ferry. You missed the fast boat. And she's like, what are you fucking talking about? We paid for this.
That's the worst, when the person from there starts getting scared and annoyed.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And I was like, what is happening? And she's like, we paid for this. How are you going to how are you going to do this to us? You have to make this right. And he's like, I can't make it right. You have two options. You can either buy a plane ticket and fly from this island to Bali, which is like outrageous amount of money, or you can take the slow ferry. And she's like, fine, we'll take this slow ferry, but I have to get back tonight. And he's like, I guarantee you'll get back tonight. And we're like, okay, sure. So it's a different port. We have to go to the other side of the island. We get there the slow ferry leaves every hour. We get there at like 6:50. And we're like, all right, perfect. We'll just take this 7 o'clock ferry. It's not that bad. We go to buy the tickets and they're like, oh, nope, the ferry doesn't leave at 7. And we're like, what? And they're like, yeah, we didn't sell enough tickets. We're not leaving at 7. And we're like, what the fuck? And this is after we already bought our tickets. And she's like, but it's going to leave at 8. So just get on. We're going to leave at 8. We're like, all right, fine. So we finally get on this ferry. It's 8 o'clock. It doesn't leave till 9:30. We get back to Bali at like 12:30. And then when we're at Bali at 12:30, we're finding a ride, and the people are just like, hey, you're white, come, we'll give you a ride, right?
Yeah.
And she starts haggling with these people over like 300 RP or whatever it is, which is like $10. And I was like, listen, I've been up for 23 hours at this point. I do not give a fuck about $10. Just pay them what they want and let's get on our way. But dude, it ended up at the end of the day, I was up for like 25 hours, sunburnt, soaking wet, sick as a dog.
Hickied by an Irish guy.
Stalked by an Irish man. And it was just one of the craziest experiences of my life, but also the most gorgeous view I have ever experienced in my entire life.
Wow.
It was one of the craziest journeys I've ever had. Yeah.
Have you ever seen that? You mentioned the airplane on the island. Have you ever seen that video of the airport, the smallest airport in the world?
No, I haven't.
It's like the smallest airstrip in the world, and it's on some island. And it's like if you don't hit it precisely every single time, your plane's not gonna make it.
Oh, they like have to pull up.
They have to leave. Yeah. So and then it's scary because it's literally on like a hill like this, right?
Yeah.
And then on top, this part's like Grand Canyon kind of looking area.
Sure.
So you need to hit it right there. If you hit it too low, your plane's fucked kind of thing. And then on this side, it's just water.
Huh.
So like it goes down into water. So your plane's going to, it's not good.
Is it like
Either
an
way.
island? Is it Australia? Is it? Like...
I don't know where it's at, but it's an island, right? You could look it up. We could put like a picture of it. But it's so small that when the plane stops, it stops at the edge.
That's
so
crazy.
It's from edge to edge. And pilots, once you get your license to be a pilot, did the camera die? Are you pulling it up? Once you get your license to be a pilot, then you need to get another license just to land on this airstrip.
That's like it reminds me of like drug smuggling.
Yeah.
Where they like clear out a section of jungle where there's only
just for landing, huh?
Yeah, just for landing.
So like try to find the other area. Does it show a picture of the full thing?
I know why I asked Australia, which is not it's a massive island, is continent. Is they have a lot of those like in the jungle landing.
Where is
strips.
this located at?
Sava.
Where's that?
Oh.
So I was watching videos and like the pilots, like there's only a few pilots that have their licenses to land
That's
here.
crazy. Should
and
we
it's not
go?
big planes either. Like it's one of those small like islands.
Yeah, biplanes.
Yeah. So which is pretty cool.
We should do a YouTube video and titled "Flying My Best Friend to Sava."
On you.
No. I heard you're getting big checks now. Big checks from YouTube. Mr. Rich Man over here.
You're trying to do all this crazy shit. I'm not worried about the money. It's the craziness I'm worried about. You want to take me bungee jumping, bro?
I have a concept for a YouTube video. It's called "Pushing Influencers Off a Bridge," and it's just gonna be like a series of bungee jumping and shit like that. We're gonna liven it up a little bit, spice it up a little bit. But yeah, I want that real fear.
I don't want you. Oh, you started off too crazy, bro.
Okay, well,
started like a little less crazy, like setting an ant on fire with a magnifying glass.
That's very sad, though. That's animal cruelty.
That's
one
even worse. Potentially dying.
Yeah, potentially.
Potentially. I mean, the ant might not die either. Come on.
You're right. We could do like cliff jumping. We could do like.
I'll do cliff jumping.
You know what? Oh, really?
Into water?
Yeah.
As long as like 20 people do it before me,
Perfect. I'll do it before you.
I need them to land on every potential land.
We'll do a depth check. You'll be fine.
I need to do like furthest to the least. Like if there's like a rock there, I need to know.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I don't want to pencil dive.
That's how you get paralyzed. Yeah.
Exactly. You know what the worst would be? I don't know if this is even possible. There's quicksand underwater, right?
This is literally I cliff jump a lot. I've been cliff jumping for more than a decade. This is the first time I've ever heard this fear.
We have this fear. Listen, so there's quicksand underwater, and you're like, oh, just pencil dive. You won't hit the bottom. I pencil dive right into the quicksand. My head is out of the water right here, right? But I'm just slowly.
Hold up. In this hypothetical, you're cliff jumping into water that's 4 feet deep.
Very
into
possible.
Quicksand. Who's approving this site?
It just happens to be that one little area I jump has quicksand. Everything around it is like 80 feet deep.
That's pretty funny. Also, like, I don't think that's how that works. Like, the quicksand wouldn't work there.
Imagine me telling the guide this fear.
Yeah, and he's like, okay.
They're not supposed to laugh at anybody's fear.
They're just cracking and they're doubled over, and you're like, well, hold up. I thought this was an inclusive area. I really want to do the thing where it's, God, what is it called? It's plane surfing or something? Wingsurfing. It's where you're tied to the top of like one of those crop duster planes. And they'll do like flips while you're tied onto the. Yeah, if you can pull it up. It's wingsurfing.
You're tied to the airplane while they're spinning you around?
Yeah, it's wild. I actually found it out because of I think some dude took Airac onto that.
Well, you're standing on top of it?
Yeah, you're standing. You're like strapped onto the top of it, and they they're just flying around, but you have to
scary,
wing walking.
dude.
I think it's called. something like that, where you have to like, but during the flight, as the plane is flying, you have to get on top of it. So you don't
you don't start on top of the plane?
No, you don't start on top of the plane. You have to like get out mid-flight and then get onto it. Like you're strapped in, it's safe, you're not gonna fall and like kill yourself, ideally. But
the plane has quicksand on the top of it.
What if the plane has quicksand?
That's just my fear, nothing but quicksand.
Yeah. Also, this cocaine bear, what a terrible concept for a movie.
The movie?
Yeah,
Is it a comedy? It is a comedy, right?
Oh, is it?
Is it not?
It's like Sharknado.
Oh, that's why. Okay. I was like, I'm seeing posters all over.
Oh my
Look
God,
at
that's
that.
the plane?
Look at that. How cool is that?
Not that cool.
What? We did it. See,
So
like
literally have
he
to
gets
climb.
up on while the plane is in motion.
You can fuck up and fall right here.
Yeah. That's what I want to do. How fun
Wait, they
does
start
that
doing
look?
flips and shit too?
Look
What?
at
Oh my.
that. Yeah, dude, I want to do that
Wait,
this year.
upside down?
Yeah. Look at
Alright.
that.
Fuck, bro. He's having a good time.
Dude, I wouldn't do that.
No!
Uh,
That's straight.
One of my, I literally, I matched my limit of what I would do
a thrill seeking.
this past weekend.
What was it?
We
The
sta-
soccer game?
No, we stayed in the top pyramid of the Luxor,
Oh,
and
really?
I looked down.
Yeah, you're afraid of heights?
I say hate heights.
Yeah. No, but that's definitely on the bucket list for this year. I just need to start producing better videos.
Have you skydived?
No, that's also on the list this
You
year.
would?
I want to bungee jump, skydive, wing walk. Those are my those are my top 3. I also want to do 2 more continents this year.
What continents have you not been to?
I haven't been to Africa, Australia, and Antarctica. Antarctica is going to be the hard one. That's going to be
I'll go there.
really?
I've been to Alaska. I got the little bitch
The what?
entrance into cold.
Oh, got it. Yeah. No, Alaska gets cold. Alaska does get cold.
It was like negative 20 something.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm down for Antarctica.
I'll tell you what. I'll pay for your ticket to Australia if you pay for my ticket to Antarctica.
Is it that much more?
That's a deal. Hey, that's a deal.
Are there
Let's just
just,
on this
like,
podcast.
no-
Yeah.
Are there just like no planes that go there?
No planes. It's a boat. It's like 10K.
Really? Wait, for boat from where?
You go from the bottom of South America, like Chile, not Chile. I'm forgetting the name right now.
Is Antarctica below
Yeah, it's
South America?
yeah, it's the
Directly below?
it's the lowest nation. So you have to go over the Drake Passage, and you can only go over the Drake Passage for like 3 months of the year. And
How long does it take to get there?
I honestly don't know. I think like a week maybe or something. a little
Wow, I
less.
didn't know that.
Yeah.
So is there a lot of Antarctica that just hasn't been discovered yet?
I think a lot of it has been discovered. It's just like no one needs to go outside of their like research basis anymore. Oh yeah, Mr. Beast just went there, huh?
They got a private jet there, no?
No. He took like
An inside of Antarctica kind of
Yeah,
plane.
yeah.
Airports advertising.
Wow, it looks nice.
Yeah. But for like normal I bet he paid 50 grand to get his team there. To do this
100 million.
at least.
That's great. And then like, what if he's just there and you see a polar bear? Dude, I would hate to see a polar bear.
I mean, that'd probably be the worst situation. Also, you wouldn't because it's Antarctica.
Do they not have polar bear?
Mm-mm.
You
North
could have
Pole.
told me that before you made me sound like an idiot.
How was I supposed to prep? Oh, this is Antarctica. By the way, kid, there's no polar bears.
What do they have over there?
Penguins. Yeah, they're super cute. They have penguins. I guess they have like killer whales if you are taking like one of the polar plunges, which 100% I will.
Take a what?
Polar plunge. A lot of like the cruise ships have an opportunity once you get to Antarctica and you can like see the icebergs. They'll do a polar plunge where you just they have like a little ramp or whatever, but you jump off board into the water. So you just plunge in and you're wearing like a life jacket and it's very safe.
Wetsuit and everything too, probably. You're not gonna be cold.
No, you're going to be cold. You're jumping into freezing water, but it's not going to kill you.
Dude, I was watching this documentary the other day about Betty and Barney Hill's alien incident. Did you hear about that?
No, what is that?
I had heard about it before, but then I wanted to re-listen to the documentary coming back from Vegas with Huddy and Brittany.
Well,
It's this couple back in the 60s, so you don't know if it actually happened or not. They were driving back from New Hampshire, right?
mm-hmm.
And they're driving at night, and there's supposed to be like a flood warning, whatever it was, right? And then supposedly they get out of their car to see some kind of UFO looking thing that was flying around.
Well,
And then it's crazy because apparently, supposedly, they got abducted by the aliens. They got taken into the UFO, and they described the details of these aliens and exactly what they did. How they, like, one of them shoved a needle into her nose, did all these crazy tests.
they did a
on her.
COVID test. And you're like, we're not letting you on if you test positive.
The COVID aliens.
Yeah.
But then apparently, supposedly, they got let go. They went home, right?
Mm-hmm.
The next day, they woke up with, like,
Superpowers.
imagine. No, it's so weird. Like, their clocks were stopped. She had lost her earrings. She went outside. The earrings were on the floor in a bush. Like, the aliens had returned it to her. And then you're like, okay, like, anyone could make this story up and the couple could, like, say whatever. But, dude, they went through lie detector tests. They went through, like, they split them up. They did some heavy, like, therapy and, like, some type of study where, like, it puts them in a hypnosis where they recollect any memory they want and, like, explain the memory in detail. And they split them up, and they both had very similar stories as to what happened.
Shit.
And there was evidence, like, she had this powder, this pink powder on her skirt afterwards that had been ripped up and whatnot.
Yeah.
That she didn't remember what had happened. But then they did tests on this pink powder, and it had very high, like, electromagnetic frequencies attached to this pink powder.
Huh.
Just some weird stuff. And it wasn't like an organic, natural chemical that was on her. And like that's like the story. I don't know. There's like a lot more details, but like,
What did they say the aliens look like?
so that's the thing. They have. The other thing is they drew like these pictures of the UFOs as well as the aliens.
Did they say it was like a disc?
Yes, it was a disc.
Okay.
And she had also drawn like a map of something she had seen in there. And then she had no like anything with like, she knew nothing about space, but she drew some kind of like map that she had seen. And then they had scientists do research on like the formation of the stars. And it came back exactly to how she drew it.
No way.
Just some weird shit. And then,
Huh.
dude, I don't know. Like, I don't know if that's where like they get the shape of like what they think aliens look like is from what they had drawn. You know how you see those creepy like big headed things?
Yeah.
But the thing I don't understand is she said that they were talking to her. Like, did these aliens just speak English?
Well, hypothetically, right? If they're intergalactic beings, they have the technology to come here. They would have the technology to like translate, have a voice translator into an alien language. I personally don't believe in aliens.
I don't know. Like, I think there's things there, but I'm saying like for this story, for like pretty much like the only story, there's a lot of stories where people like claim to have gotten abducted.
Yeah.
But you don't really like, doesn't like, you haven't seen any evidence like that of it. But like the thing I don't understand is like, were they just that crazy that the lie detector test passed through?
Maybe. Or, I mean, I have no idea. I have no, maybe they both tripped DMT, you know, and then they talked about it immediately after. And they're like, oh, maybe that is what I saw, you know, or something like that.
Yeah.
Maybe they went on a crazy acid trip and somebody, you know, I don't know.
Yeah.
Or they saw fucking aliens. I would love for that to be true, aliens. But it's also like, how would we not know? You know?
Yeah.
Like, that would be international news. The U.S. would definitely...
The U.S. just shot down like a Chinese hot air balloon, but
Yeah.
they didn't know if there's UFOs flying around.
Right,
and
exactly.
picking people up.
Especially, like, you see all these people when they tell the story, and it's like, yeah, this UFO came down, and then, like, it abducted us up into the air. That means that UFO is chilling for like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Abducts them in like 5 minutes. So they're just chilling for 10 minutes in this international, whatever, in U.S. territory, in this neighborhood. And people don't see this massive, like, 5-story flying saucer there.
Yeah, but to be fair, it wasn't like, those roads to nowhere kind of deals where there's like nothing around
Sure.
them.
Maybe they have like cloaking or whatever.
Sure.
I mean, but
also,
also
what was the technology in the 60s for like the Air Force? Like, is that something they
like
were
radar and stuff?
tracking?
Maybe
Yeah.
not. I don't know. I find it hard to believe that an alien species would come to Earth specifically to study humans. Like it doesn't make sense to me. Where it's
Yeah.
like every species, or at least the human species, the only reason we expand is to take for ourselves, right?
Right.
And maybe they're like a higher being and they understand more. But I find it hard to believe that you would go all the way out of your way to go to a different planet, an alien planet, and just study the species. Like if we found life on Mars that wasn't speaking our language, that like say another horse or cats or whatever, we'd be like, oh, Mars is ours. We're going to start colonizing it like we already are. And then the subspecies would just be like our pets. So I feel like if there is any intelligence in the universe that is greater than ours, then we're kind of doomed, right? Where they would just come in, they'd colonize, they'd be like, oh, this is a dope planet. We need resources.
I wonder if there is and they know about us and they're just planning this massive attack.
Maybe. The pyramids.
Who knows?
Maybe they said.
I want to believe it. Like
Yeah.
if it's cool if they
No,
think
it's
about.
really cool. I would love for that to be like more species than just humans.
Yeah. But
That'd
it's
be
also
amazing.
scary if this incident could have happened in the 60s with that kind of level of technology of some other
Oh, we would be
galaxy having.
doomed.
Yeah. Imagine where they're at now. But it also makes me wonder, like, if people had like, see, no one's like actually like, who knows? No one's like seen an alien and been like, we don't have like pictures of aliens, right?
We don't have any proof.
So like for them to say like, imagine that picture was out before. Here's what aliens are supposedly supposed to look like, right?
Mhm.
And they see that and they explain that. It's like your idea of taking a drug and thinking this is a lot more like understandable. Because I think if we actually see aliens, it's not going to look like what we think they look like, right?
I don't have any reason to believe they would be humanoid. Like, why would they be ape shaped? Right?
Right. Yeah. No, I agree. I don't.
Yeah. They would be like a flying blob or something, like whatever. Also, it's not necessarily like, I guess it could go from a different planet that is very like inhabitable, the Earth, as in just like all of the stuff that we need, oxygen, all carbon, whatever, everything like that. But also it's like, if it is possible that if there is other life that's highly intelligent and it develops, then it's just like not the same elements as Earth. So this could be very much uninhabitable. Have you seen super famous movie Independence Day, I think, where they open the capsules and they die because of the germs in the air?
Damn.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think.
Anyways, it's a super famous movie. The aliens conquer Earth, and what kills them is like our germs and bacteria, and like just our air is not, it's
Right,
not
right.
good for them.
Yeah. I mean, that's reasonable.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. I was like,
you go
that
somewhere
makes
that
sense.
it's like us. Like even if we travel somewhere where like we're not from third world country, if we're having their water, we're gonna get sick. If we're having like
Literally, yeah. Oh, yeah.
I could like going back to my example in Indonesia, like I couldn't have their ice. Like if I go out to have something, I can't have their water and I can't have their ice because I'm gonna get sick.
You know what's funny is when I was in Bali, I got super sick, not from their meats or anything, and I was eating street food a lot.
Yeah,
It was because they like washed lettuce I had
with water, huh?
with their like just their tap water. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's the thing. And then like, it's not like only I know. Like they know too. Like the people at the restaurant, they'd be like, they know that I
They're
shouldn't
like,
have
this is
this
not
stuff.
great for your belly.
Exactly. Yeah. If they know where you're from, they'll tell you not to do it.
So that's, I mean, I think that would be cool. I would love for there to be highly intelligent life out there.
I think something did happen to them though. They might have gotten mugged or something.
Sure, or something. I mean, I don't,
crazy
yeah,
stuff,
yeah,
right?
something
Like-
happened. I mean, there's a lot of very unexplainable things that happen.
You gonna learn today. How's LA been since you've been back? Shitty.
Traffic's the same, air's the same, but I like being back. It's a land of opportunity. It's if you have enough drive and passion to chase a dream, you can achieve it in LA. That is
Absolutely.
something that's very unique about LA.
You either make it or you don't. You're here trying forever.
Or you're here trying forever. That is very true. Yeah.
ChatGPT took over, or is taking over.
What a flawless.
Dude, it just came to me too last night. I was at UCLA and like people are using this for papers too.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, dude. My resume on LinkedIn is written by ChatGPT. ChatGPT.
Yeah, GPT.
whatever.
I get
But-
it confused.
OpenAI.
So
Yeah.
like we're in the entertainment space, right?
Right, the
So we're
creative
like,
space.
okay, like it's cool. Like you want to write a script, this could do it for you. But you don't realize like, dude, if people are writing papers with this, college essays, papers, everything.
It's what.
Computer science is fucked too, because that's way smarter. GPT is way smarter.
Oh yeah. And
Coding.
And
Dude.
now it's a just an engineering war, right? So like Microsoft bought ChatGPT for Bing, and now Google is coming out with Bard, which is their own AI system. And it's crazy. It's like we had crypto, which was like whatever 2 years ago or 3 years ago. And that was a massive money grab and a bubble bursting. I don't think this is going to be necessarily a bubble bursting, but I do see this being the exact same environment as crypto, where it's going to be like all of the VC money is going into these new AI like programs. Because you look at it, I literally got approached by a company and they were like, hey, we are looking to onboard creators because we are an AI service that helps creators, specifically for creators. And I was like, all right, that's like, what can you really do? I looked through the system and it's like, it does ideation, it does blog posts, it does SEO, it does literally anything that you like, it's kind of difficult to do. It fucking knocks that shit out.
That's the scary thing too. Like Brittany sent me a video. There was this video. They asked the system, like, give me $1 million app idea. I don't know if you saw the video, right? So give me $1 million app idea that hasn't been created. The system writes out this whole app idea, start to finish, right? Second question, he's like, give me the coding to this app to make it come to life. The AI develops all the coding necessary for this app.
Wow.
Tell me how to promote this. Tells them exactly how to promote it. With 3 steps, it creates this whole app that has never been seen before, that the AI says is $1 million idea and is literally created in the span of seconds.
My friend, he said that he does predominantly all of his work on like Upwork, which is kind of like a third party hiring system. And he said that right now, code like I forgot what it's called. It's a specific title, but it's like people that know how to talk to AI are getting paid $150 an hour just to write,
Really?
just to like ideate and talk to AI for companies. Yeah.
I mentioned it because of the school stuff that people were saying, which I didn't see. I mean, if I was in school, obviously I'd be using it too. It didn't process with me. But I was wondering, like, you get an assignment, right? It's like, write 3 pages about this. I wonder, like, does it make it different for each person that pastes that into the system? Or are these kids showing up to school with 30 of the same exact paper?
I think it's going to be how you phrase it too, right?
So you can't copy and paste what the teacher is giving you, kind of thing, right? Because that's what I
Maybe.
thought they're doing, right? Like I thought,
You can just edit it.
so that's what they have to do. Because if you don't, and these kids don't know, and they're copying and pasting the assignment, because a lot of times the assignment is just this block of text, and you have like lines under to write. If you're copying and pasting that, I'm sure you're gonna get the same exact thing
Right.
for all these papers.
What I've heard is a company's developing an AI to scan through online assignments to see if an AI wrote it.
That's probably gonna come out within the next month. I wouldn't even be surprised.
Yep.
Teachers are just gonna input all these papers into whatever.
AI checker.
Because there was something that when I was in school too, teachers were checking to see if anything was copy and pasted off the internet, period.
Right.
So now that this thing's writing your
Copyright
whole
checker.
thing, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like that was a thing.
Mhm.
I'm sure that this is going to be developed instantly. If they have something writing your paper perfectly,
Yeah, game over, bro.
but I wonder like what the consequences are going to be for like colleges too. Like if all your college essays are written like this,
Yeah.
just instant. Like, would you do it if you had this opportunity to use it in school?
Absolutely. I'm doing it now.
In school, yeah, but like if there's one paper you have to write for a college, would you use it?
What do you mean? Like I would absolutely utilize modern technology.
You would input that into an AI system to write you a college essay for a school to accept or deny you?
What do you mean?
Oh, entrance.
Like an entrance, like
An
entrance
entrance
essay.
essay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Would you?
I don't know. Like that's where I would be like, I was so scared to even have my cousin help me proofread and help me write some areas of it
Really?
at that time. But like, because my school was so strict on catching it that it just scared me to that point.
Oh, that
So
makes
that when I
sense.
got to college, I was like, he could proofread it, but I didn't want him to help me write it.
Yeah.
Just for that reason. Like I was like, I don't know what kind of systems they have to
Like
catch
this is my individual thought.
exactly. But like now that it's at this point, I don't know.
Crazy, bro.
But
It's
like trying to stop a calculator.
right. Yeah. It's just modern technology. It's like when I was growing up, the teachers always were going to be like, you can't use a calculator on tests because you're not always going to have a calculator on you.
Yeah.
Now we have phones, you know,
Yeah.
we literally always have calculators on
Were
us.
you required to buy those crazy like
T98
graphing calculators?
Yeah.
T63? Is that what it was?
Texas Instruments.
That's what
That's right. Yeah.
I remember that.
Wild. What's interesting is my one of my really good friends, his mom is a teacher in college. She's already assigning her students assignments where it's like, how will you best integrate this new AI into your life, into your new careers?
Mhm.
And like she specifically assigns them to turn in essays written by ChatGPT. But she says, explain why this is better than if you did it. And do you think this is more like creative, original, or whatever? Is this easier? You know, she makes them break it down and mean like, why would you use this in a professional way? Or if you do you think this is better than you as a human doing it?
It comes out as like, do you trust computers more than yourself?
Yeah,
Do
literally.
you trust your Tesla driving, or do you trust yourself driving the computer?
The other
why-
thing is, I wonder if the software is going to get so advanced one day. Because the thing with me in school, especially, I went to such small schools that teachers would know each student's writing style perfectly. So I wonder if the system's going to get so advanced to the point where you could input previous writing assignments you had written,
Bro,
and
that's
it matches
crazy.
your style of writing.
Well, if you think about it, I mean, I'm sure it's processing and saving all the shit that we search into OpenAI, but I don't see why it wouldn't be able to do that, because OpenAI, at least what I see, is it saves the chat logs, right? So you can have like 10 at a time right now if you don't pay for their service, and it just saves everything you've already asked. So why wouldn't it be like you say, hey, here's a link to everything I've ever written.
Period. And then it's
Write
like,
something in my voice.
so now that I mentioned that, it made me remember something my friend is working on. No, I don't know how much I was going to get him on the podcast. Too,
Yeah,
'cause what
you're
he's
like,
doing
I don't
is
know how
crazy.
much to reveal.
So I don't know how much I could talk about. I really, because he's like in the building stages of
Right,
it.
yeah.
But I could tell you like what the basic idea is of what he's developing. He's taking the AI softwares and he's taking like famous people. Take
Elon Musk.
Gary Vee, for example,
Sure.
someone who gives like really credible advice for, let's say, small business owners that are trying to grow.
Yeah.
So he'll take everything Gary Vee's ever said in his life, input it into the software, literally what I'm saying, like what I
Yeah,
said
yeah.
before. And it basically creates Gary Vee's brain, and the AI system takes his voice and it creates a Gary Vee on the other end of a phone call.
Mm.
So I could pick up the phone right now. A million people could pick up the phone right now and talk to Gary Vee on the phone.
That's creepy, dude.
And he
I don't know
will,
about
based
that.
on his whole life, every piece of content he's put out, every interview he's done, answer your questions in Gary Vee's voice as Gary Vee, as something Gary Vee would say.
Now, here's the question is, how does that infringe upon IP? Right?
I mean, dude, that's true. I wonder if
Like,
what kind of permissions are needed for this.
yeah, because I mean, I'm not famous. If somebody took my likelihood,
We died.
you're right, yeah.
Did it
If
work?
somebody took my likelihood, though, like I could absolutely sue them
Right.
and be like, hey, this is not something I said. This is not something I did, and I did not give you permission to do this. For my vlog, I'm gonna open it and I'm saying, hey, I'm going on Kia's podcast today. I told him that the Bali adventure was the best one yet, but I cannot talk about it.
Is that what it was?
Yeah, that's the whole
So
concept.
you're gonna show parts of the podcast.
Yeah, and I'll just clip in, like, read it, and then you
That's-
freaking out and
my
be like,
reactions
why
were
aren't you
perfect.
talking
That was
about
good.
this?
This is how good AI is.
Nalbandi has the best podcast on YouTube.
Dog, let me see
Whoa.
this. Go. Show the camera.
I
Show
did
the
that-
camera.
I did that in like 5 seconds.
You're
That's
pointing
how
at
powerful
dog. You're at the
AI is.
wrong camera,
This
bro.
one.
Oh shit!
You're at the wrong.
That's how powerful AI is.
Show.
bro.
Show up.
We'll
Yeah,
put
do
the
it like
video
that,
file on
yeah.
the end.
Chris,
Oh,
please
okay,
put this
perfect.
up.
Yeah.
Kia Nalbandi has the best podcast on YouTube.
Took me like 5 seconds to do that shit. Not
That's
even that hard.
wild.
That's what I can do. Imagine what like big companies can do, bro.
Deepfakes are going to be wild. Didn't
That
some...
shit is like believable, bro.
Oh, yeah.
Good voice, good lip sync.
Damn, Trump likes my podcast, bro.
That's high praise. How did you find that?
So, I mean, I've just been in this AI shit, and I was like, it's this app called Parrot, and it can lip sync anyone who has like a lot of footage on the internet.
Yeah, like Obama or whatever.
Yeah, Mr. Beast, whatever, and you can make them say whatever the fuck you want, man.
I'm
It's
a-
like semi-believable.
I'm about to be putting Mr. Beast in my next YouTube video.
Do a Mr. Beast podcast, yeah.
I've been seeing this guy, Robert Francis, for a while.
I'm gonna send you that clip, kid.
Yeah, send that to me, or send it to Chris so I can put it on
Damn,
the.
dog, I'm about to finish this shit.
Finish that, dog.
So, like, that Gary Vee shit, that shit is, like, already here to the public, bro. It's fucking...
Yeah. Oh man, the middle camera arm.
Yeah, Nalbandi is the best podcast on YouTube.
Let me post this YouTube video while we do this.
There's not Wednesday. It's Thursday, right?
Today's Thursday. What did you do? It should be 180 and then like 2000 on the ISO.
Are you all the same camera?
That one's higher quality. It's turn it a little towards me more. Thank you, Armando.
Yeah, so that app, like, there's, like, a lot of high-profile people. As long as they're in the internet a lot, fake whatever, dude. It's fucking
That's
insane.
wild.
Like,
So-
this is what I did. We'll throw this up if it's relevant. But,
Armin Zaidi has the best podcast on
No way.
Wow,
That's
that's
wild.
crazy. So that on another note, imagine it gets so crazy that like we're thinking of, at like a basic level, right? Like,
Ground level.
oh, we could like make fun of people, we could do this, we could say we're the best, we could do that, right? We could get advice from someone who has like business minds.
Right.
But in reality, you could watch all his stuff on YouTube and get the same kind of advice.
Sure.
But like, imagine it gets to the point where you could call like
Politician.
no, even crazier, bro. Like, who's like I don't know, Eric Thomas, right? Like an influential person, like a motivator, right?
Oh.
Imagine you could call someone like that and be like, "Hey, I'm suicidal," or "I'm this,
Oh,
I'm
shit.
that,"
Yeah.
and like this person, like this computer could like change your
Talk you
life,
out.
kind of thing,
Yeah.
right? Imagine that.
Yeah.
Like, it gets so crazy at that point, and that's not a good end. Now, think of it on the other end. You mentioned politicians, dude. Imagine how crazy it
Disinformation
would be
would be wild.
if Trump is like, tomorrow I'm doing this to this country.
Yeah.
Dude, that's gonna throw that country into like a state of panic. Like, is this real? Is this not? The U.S. is gonna be like, it's
How do
not.
you
but-
check it? How do you validate? Or, I don't know. There has to be a tech sector in the US, like that's state run, that is actively fighting this disinformation,
Yeah, but so the U.S. might be able to develop something like that. But think about the other countries that won't be able to. Like, if you deep
Like
fake,
if some hacker deep fakes Biden sending the president of Saigon a message or whatever, or wherever, and being like, hey, if you don't send $5 million to this address, we're going to have to tighten restrictions on your company
yeah.
or your country.
So then, but the thing is, like, if the U.S. has the software, then they could tell them it's not real, right?
Yeah.
But think about if somebody here deep fakes like Turkey's leader saying something to Iran or something like that, where neither of them
I see
have
what
any
you're
kind of
saying.
technology and have bad ties with the U.S.
Oh, shit.
I mean, then again, I guess Turkey doesn't. Does Turkey have bad ties with the U.S.? But I'm saying, like, imagine two
Whatever,
countries
yeah.
that have bad ties with you that U.S. That wants nothing to do with,
Yeah.
starts getting deep fakes towards each other, and these countries that are already in wars with each
Yeah,
other.
that is fucking Big Brother scary.
Yeah. Who knows, man? This world's crazy.
That's something that I haven't even thought about. That's true, though. How do I invest?
I mean,
How do I make money?
AI goes public. I'm buying, bro.
Invest in me, bro. I'll make you a lot more money than AI systems, bro.
Word?
While there's shit going on outside, this podcast pulling in money.
Yeah.
All right, I think we're good. We solid? You got anything else?
That's it, man. That was a great podcast.
Thank you guys so much for watching yet another great episode of the No Script Podcast. Make sure you guys check out all the other ones. I post a new episode every single week. Thank you to Robert for coming on today. Rob, go follow him on Instagram at Real Robert Francis.
Real Robert Francis. Instagram, YouTube, TikTok. Let's go.
And Mr. Robert, I appreciate it. I'll see you guys next week for another episode. I'm Kian Nalbandi. I'm your host, and I'm out. Peace.